teams.
Yep. For those of you guys who are watching on my stream, there's a couple of things that I do to try to clue you guys in to what's going on. Remember, there's a 5-minute delay. So I do have a button on my stream deck that says, hey, the game's starting, we'll see you in 5. So you'll see that spammed in chat. If you see the death pick icon, that means that there's something epic coming up that you might want to clip, because I might want to take that clip, steal it, and post it out there, and everybody gets to see what you did, and I will thank you with the prize if that is the case. So, which side would you like, sir? Vor versus Ohboy. Game 1.
That is up to you. I'm having technical difficulties. For some reason, my software crashed.
Okay. I'll start us off. When you get here, let me know. Interesting. Oh, never mind. Okay, I thought we had a crash on Vor, but no. So Kremlin, Ohio, brought by Vor, triple Des Moines, Moskva, and triple Marceau. We were just talking about the Marceau replacing the Kleber. I had thought that Vor crashed because one of their ships, their Moskva, didn't move. As a matter of fact, he's reversing at the start. Meanwhile...
That's very interesting indeed.
Yeah, meanwhile, on the Ohboy side, we've got a Montana and Ohio. We have triple Moskva. I am very sure that Sea Raptor is extremely excited to see Horny Wookie. Not because of the name, because he's in a Hindenburg. Followed by 2 Marceaus and a lone Gearing. That Gearing, of course, will provide good spotting for the team compared to the Marceau.
Yep.
And smoke.
So I just turned off my overlay so I can still see the game. So over on the Vor side, we have a wolf pack of 3 Marceaus, 2 Des Moines, Ohio, Stalingrad, a Moskva, and a Kremlin. It looks like the Stalingrad is going to be looking over B, with the Moskva and Kremlin heading over to A. Now, the triple Marceau Wolfpack that's going on, if they're able to kill off the other Marceau on the other side, that'd be a huge play for Vor.
Absolutely, yes, it will. And as a matter of fact, I think we might see that coming soon, as we're about to get nope, pink camouflage turns south. Look at Dark Temple. We've seen Dark Temple before. He's going to that northerly spot in the in that area, and that's your typical kind of Stalingrad hangout position.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And looks like the first map goes to Vor. So very well done. They did to get the first cap. Looks like on B and A side, Ohboy is getting. It looks like the Gearing was radared, and he is taking a lot of damage.
Oh yeah. Well, Dark Temple in that position that we would expect. And you can see that there is young Shagger on the other side. He was smoked up by his Gearing teammate so that he could get up there and make his presence known in a safe manner, as looks like Ohboy grabs Alpha Cap.
Yep, and looks like there are twerps out onto C cap while pink camouflage tries to back into the cap to grab it. I don't think they know where the wolf pack is yet, but they do have a feeling that they were at C due to the cap. But at this point, they're probably being very cautious, making sure they don't accidentally get walloped by that wolf pack that's running around right now.
Yep. Speaking of cautious, young Shagger was brought down quite low. He has gone dark. He's in the smoke and all that good stuff. Here comes another radar, this time from the Des Moines, and that Marceau wolf pack is leaving Charlie and heading to Bravo.
Two of the Marceaus were just spotted by pink, or by the Moskva's radar.
Young Shagger had radared right before he went dark, so my guess is that was his radar that caught it.
Yep. So they did just catch the Marceaus. They now know where they are, so they'll be able to prepare a little bit more, knowing where they're at and where they're going. But yes, it was Shagger. You're correct. Yes.
Interesting, though, to note, both teams now are kind of just ignoring Alpha Cap. I mean, the Kremlin and Moskva for Vor are way, way up north, and they're trying to get some good, probably plunging fire shots on young Shagger's Moskva. But they're right now not interested in contesting Bravo or Alpha Cap, as Ohboy has Pepega Sniper and Pod Nike just south of Alpha to hold it.
Yep. Yep, so right now there are torps out onto Nebeski, but they did miss over at sea, so he is safe for now. But it seems like the Hindenburg and Mosfar may be getting into position to try to push out or try to snipe Nebeski's Des Moines. But as of right now, it seems like they're just being really cautious.
Mm-hmm.
The Ohio and Des Moines are pushing along to the 10 line, it seems. The Des Moines is definitely going to be going down that street or holding its position here, making sure that no one goes down. Ohio is looking over the sea cab. Looks like Vor has a very strong defense for sea currently.
Absolutely. And you can see, actually, the Wolfpack looks like they might just ignore Bravo and go straight to Alpha.
Yep, right now it seems like they're doing. There is another radar out onto the Marceaus.
Yep, young Shagger picking him up.
Sorry. Oh, sorry. No, it was a sonar. I apologize. Sonar.
You're right, it is sonar.
Yep, but they are opening fire onto the Mosfa. So look at all of that rain coming down, all of that fire.
Yeah, he's in trouble. At this point, they need to bring AGT back in with the gearing to try to smoke young Shagger. Because he's going to disappear quickly.
Yep, and looks like they are doing that. They are bringing the gearing back to try to cover up in the smoke. They did, let me see, we'll check and see. I think this is a sonar. I was trying to see if he radared.
He is not radar.
Nope, it's only sonar.
Yep, the Marceaus. Oh, somebody hit Dark Temple hard. That had to have been the Montana?
Ooh. I didn't see the shot because I was looking at the Marceau, but why did he eat a torp?
No, I think the Montana slapped him somehow on the side. And there goes young Shagger.
I don't. Yeah, that was wow, that was some big damage.
I think that was.
It made Ohio. Yeah, it looks like it was the Ohio. He just did a shot over the rock, so he was definitely doing that shot. The Montana, I don't think he had the fire angle to do that.
We'll have to see.
But yeah, as of right now, the Marcel Wolfpack is dark. But yeah, Dark Temple is very low health. Let's see, I can look at the ship and see. Yeah, the shot came from the front right side, so it had to be the Ohio.
Ah, okay. So you're looking at the damage model and you're looking at the...
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, because if it was the Montana, where his position was, it would have had to been like probably near the rear. So that's my best guess. But very well done shot. That had the Ohio shot had to been a Citadel through the bow.
Yeah. Because remember, the Stalingrad has an icebreaker bow, but it's right at the water line and just a little bit above. The upper part of the bow is still, what is it, 25 millimeter, 27?
27.
So it can be overmatched anyways by the Ohio guns.
Yep.
Now that VOR has taken over that Mosfa in the center, they can just go right into B and grab it for basically free here. Oh, look at what's going on the other side. Look at the 10 line. Pink camouflage.
He looks like he is perma-spotting the Des Moines. He's not going in for a dangerous rush on the Des Moines. It looks like he's just perma-spotting him. Using that 2-kilometer concealment, a 2-kilometer proxy to keep a perma-spot. A very good play by Ohboy.
Yep. If they can get this Des Moines off the board, then that makes it more difficult for Vor to hold this cap. As you can see, now the Kremlin and Moscow on the 1-2 line have started turning in.
Yep, and as you can see, the Ohio's trying to get shots out onto him, but he did miss. They are communicating that the Ohio is trying to shoot him, so they're doing a very good job with that communication with their teammates. Very well done by them. The Ohio is starting to back off, and since he's out in the open now, the Moscow has been opening fire on him, trying to get a fire on him. It looks like they are repositioning Nerbileski through C, but he is dangerously broadside to that Ohio.
Yeah, but the Ohio is looking at the Marceau spam. I mean, look at them. They're just taking him down.
Yep, they are putting up a wall of steel again. They're just raining on him, trying to distract him while this Des Moines is he's currently open, but he is also unspotted as well. So he's
Hmm.
going to get that Cat 4C. Very well done. Now over on the A side, it looks like the Marcel Pill is moving toward A. Now they may try to just have it there for the proxy spotting, or they may have it where they try to do a rush if that Kremlin gets too close.
Yep. Oh boy. And then there goes Titan. He's taking a big hit there from Dark Temple Stalingrad as the Marceaus just continue to just pound on him. Unfortunately, their gearing kind of messed up that smoke play, and they were forced to kind of leave him spotted for a while. Although now he does have that little divot to try and disengage. But I'll tell you what, those Marceaus, they smell blood on the water. They're going to keep going.
Yeah, they smell blood and they know that there's only 2 ships over here. They have nothing to fear right now. They're going to go in. They're going to push.
They are indeed. As pink
The Moskva.
camouflage got whacked somehow.
Yep, Pod Knight did just radar, trying to spark the Marceaus, trying to get any sort of information to those 2 ships to give them some sort of advantage. But if they're not careful, Ohboy is going to lose their gearing and Ohio from the Marceaus.
There goes the Marceau. He tried to make something happen on the 10 line. It just didn't work.
Yep, he tried.
And then
And
Titan is going to go down momentarily.
Mhm. Yep, the Marceau did push to try to do something with that Des Moines. Definitely, it's very unwise to try to push a Des Moines that isn't that close to the island, because within 4 salvos or 5, you're done, and that's 20 seconds. So you have 20 seconds to do a play. The Marceaus did take out the Ohio. Very well done, but it did cost them 1 of their Marceau from the Wolfpack, but it was for a 2 trade, so they got 2 kills for only losing 1 Wolfpack. I think that's
Yeah.
a pretty good trade.
Oh yeah, they definitely won in that engagement. This match has really been all Vor, except for when Ohboy started with the capture advantage. That's really about it. As soon as that Moskva in the middle went down, it just cascaded throughout the rest of the map. As let's see, Horny Wookie and the Hindenburg is trying to head north and make something happen, but he's just gonna get slapped off the face of the earth. So there's Dark Temple quite low, as well as we have a Montana salvo to respond. Let's follow that salvo for a sec. There goes Horny Wookie. Dark Temple just casually turns right.
Yep, very good dodge by him. He does have the broadside of the Moskva, but the Moskva is going to be backing up.
Hmm.
The Marcel is trying his best to help fight against the Wolfpack of the remaining 2 Marceaus, but in a 2v1, it's going to be really tough for him. And the
Yep.
Marcel that's being targeted is also keeping a very good angle, so he doesn't take that much damage at all. Doing a very well play. The Montana did take out the Stalingrad. Very important kill for them. Marcel almost getting a torp onto Renegade. He's actually doing a really good job fighting these 2 Marceaus. He isn't losing too much health now at this point.
Yep.
Um,
But I mean, it's pretty much all too little too late, unfortunately. I do like that Pod Nike is able to help against the Marceaus, and you can see them backing off now because of the threat that the Moskva does bring about. But I don't see a path to victory right now for Ohboy.
mhm.
Got Pepega coming up now, trying to go 1-on-2 against the Kremlin with the Moskva backup. He's got to be careful. He can't show broad to both of them, or to either of them, really.
Yep. But yeah, right now the Wolfpack is being pushed off. They are being pushed off the cap, but they are being focused heavily because right now Vor has the point lead of 960 to about 700. So in 30 seconds the match will be done.
That's right. Meanwhile, we just saw Pepega Sniper going down. We figured that was going to happen. And at this point, I mean, we're 15 seconds away from a VOR victory for game 1. So, if you'll excuse me, I guess I'll go set up for my death pick. Because
Yes.
there's not much we're gonna see here, folks. There we go. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, very nice. Well done by Vor. Very well done.
Yeah, good battle by both teams. It definitely felt like VOR was in the driver's seat, but I do like how Ohboy tried to pivot, tried to make something work. Unfortunately, of course, it didn't happen that way, but hey, you know, you never know till you try, right?
Yeah, exactly. You never know until you try. So right now, I'm going to try to get the software back working because for some reason mine decided to not work. So I'm going to try fixing that while we're not in the match.
Hey, no problem, dude. No problem. As a reminder, we are on a 5-minute delay, so that game just ended for us, but for those of you guys watching, you've got a few minutes left. Um, Once the game is over, I will be doing an ad break just so that people that come in don't miss out on the action. That's something called pre-roll, and basically the way it works is if I've run an ad within, I don't know if it's an hour or what, a certain number of ad minutes, then when people come in, then Twitch doesn't force them to watch an ad when they start. And that's important because people might be bouncing around from one person to the next, and I want to make sure that they can see the action right away.
Okay, cool. All right. I got mine to work finally.
There you go. Nice.
Ohboy versus Vor. Cool.
That is correct. That is correct.
Kind of
Four up one game.
fire.
Now, if this becomes a 2-0, I'm not sure if we're going to just move on to the next round or if we're going to have to wait until the round starts.
Oh, Vor won, correct? Or is it
Yes, Vor 1.
Okay.
And then, so the semi 2, which is Boggs versus FPM, is set to start at 9:30 Central Time. So about 53 minutes from now. If this goes into a game 2 and it's a 2-0 sweep, we'll have to see if they're gonna bump that up or not. I would hope that they would bump it up, but you know, you got to remember, teams haven't necessarily been told to be ready, at least not that I know of.
Yep, they have not been told to be ready early, so that means we'll have to wait until 10:30 for the next set of matches.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask in here what happens. So I'm asking to see what happens if we do go 2-0, and that's just a question I'm sure that all of you viewers want to know for yourselves, and I want to know. Okay, we are told that we will wait in the event that it goes 2-0. So we could be filling time for a half an hour, dude.
Yep, we may be.
If that's the case, most of my viewers probably know what I'm gonna look to do.
And that's going to be watching the replay.
Watching the replay while I back out of the server, change over to my main account, and bang out 1 or 2 co-op games to get my dailies done.
Yeah, I may do that as well.
Because, I mean, what else is there at this point, right? Like, ay, ay, ay.
Yeah, because there's only so much filler area you can do.
No, right. So I think it's Operation Aegis is still the operation of the week, so I like to just hop into that because it's quick, it's easy, and it's almost always a guaranteed win. So it really does help you get through your dailies a lot quicker.
Yep, it definitely does. All right, so the replay is up. So they did do that. So the replay is up to render.
Oh, good.
So I'm gonna switch that up quick.
Let's take a look. All right, there we go.
Hey, that's super cool. You can literally watch like the map from the top down. Like, that's amazing.
Yep. And you can see the Marcel Wolfpack going to Charlie.
Yep.
And then you can See Ohboy setting up for a more balanced spawn.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that key moment is coming up though when those Marceaus flip over and they just take down that Moskva. Unfortunately, the Moskva did allow himself to get shot at quite a bit from the Des Moines and Ohio, north of
Yes.
Charlie as well. And
Mm-hmm.
that brought him down lower than he wanted to be after that initial engagement.
Yes, it did.
All right, 4.5 minutes in, and the Marceaus are swimming like sharks north of Bravo.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the part where they open up at 5 minutes into the battle. And just watch that Moskva's hit point bar drop.
Yep, that poor Moskva.
Gone.
He got messed up really, really bad.
So the Kleber might be banned, but you can't ban them all, kids, unless both teams agree to ban the Kleber strat or the French destroyer strat, right? One
Yeah,
team has to ban Kleber, one has to ban Marceau. Go ahead.
yeah, but the thing is, since they are blind bans, it's really hard to kind of figure out who's gonna ban what. So you may see the same ban.
Well, we saw that
Um,
yesterday with two teams banning Nevsky.
yep, we did. But yeah, since we didn't talk about it that much, do you think we want to go over the bans? We didn't talk about the bans yet today.
Yeah, you
Kind of
mentioned it
like,
during the pregame briefly, but yeah, so it's the Nevsky and the Kleber that were banned, correct?
yep. Noveski was banned by Ohboy, and the Vor banned the Kleber. So that definitely did some research. Both teams did research on their opponent for this.
Mm-hmm.
The Noveski is a very good band to help stop like hiding cruisers as much. Noveski does have a very strong radar and sonar pair, along with having a good concealment. Fast firing guns that are very, very powerful. Very one of the highest velocity guns in the game for cruisers.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very fast. I think it's around 1,100. It's like right around there,
Yeah.
or like around 1,000. It's very, very fast. It's redonkulous. I love it. I love playing the Noveski.
It's a very
Um,
good open water ship. Um, the difference between it and, say, Hindenburg is Hindenburg, really, you get punished if you move too far forward early on into the battle, whereas I think the Nevsky can handle herself a little bit better, mainly because of her armor scheme.
Yep. Also the benefit of the Noveski is it can be at 20 kilometers away and still be able to hit shots effectively because of how fast the shells are.
Yep,
While the Hindenburg has a slower flight time, so it's less likely to hit those really far away shots.
right.
So with the Kleber ban, I also enjoy playing the Kleber, but I'm more of a fan of the Marceau for randoms. But for not for rank, sorry, for COTS in any competitive scene, it's usually better to bring the Kleber because of that reload booster.
Mm-hmm.
That reload booster on the Kleber is very, very strong. Very well done. Like it's very, very strong. It can easily wipe out an unsuspecting DD, and it's also great if you're trying to focus fire and try to wipe out the health from an unsuspecting battleship or cruiser that so happens to be within your range.
Right.
Same with, but the thing is, the Marceau is pretty much the same as the Kleber, but it has a better sustain without the it doesn't have the auto reload. Pretty much is the exact same speed as the Kleber. It has a little bit longer of a torp reload, but other than that, the Marceau is also a great pick if the Kleber is banned. That's why we saw the Marceaus being picked as a stand-in for the Kleber.
Right.
But yeah, I'm definitely excited. That was a very, very strong tactic for both teams. Very wise of Vor. They didn't go full wolf pack. They did a little mini one with the 3,
Yep.
and they did it very effectively.
Yep.
I feel like they did a very good job.
Both. Never mind. I was gonna say both teams are saying that they're ready to go, and then Facey just came in and said 2 minutes.
Yep.
So
Yep.
we are 2 minutes away from game two, ladies and gentlemen.
But yes, very well done again. That was very exciting to watch.
It was. It was. Quick shout out
Lamar,
to my mod Puddin for taking care of giveaways and hanging out. Thank you very much. He is running on 2 hours of sleep.
yeah, my mod Kyle the Weasel is also being a god. He's doing the predictions and stuff while I do the giveaways. He's and also keeping everyone in check with his weasel powers. So thank you, Kyle. Yeah, Puddin's amazing. I've known Puddin for, I think I've known him for over a year and a half. He was one of the first people when I came to WoW's.
Yeah.
He was one of the first. I'll let you learn. He was a very because oh, the game's starting.
Game is starting.
Yep. Now we are off to the second match with Ohboy versus Vor. This will be on North. The Alpha spawn will be going to Ohboy. Bravo spawn will be going to Vor. Wish them luck. Will Vor take this and go to the finals? We will see. You can have the first pick, brother, on who you want to cast.
Well, it's interesting. It feels like there isn't too much of a change in either lineup. Oh, wait a second.
There's more Des Moines.
No. All right, I'll take Ohboy because Ohboy is coming with double Russian bias. They're bringing a Kremlin and they're bringing a Slava. Now we have not yet seen a Slava. At least I have not seen a Slava yet.
I have not seen a Slava either, so they're definitely trying to get the more accuracy from that, but
Yep.
I'll call the Vor first. So the Vor has 4 Marceaus this time around instead of the 3. So they upped their wolf pack.
They've got 3 Marceaus and a Daring.
Oh, I'm blind.
All good.
I'm blind. I'm sorry. 3 Marceaus and a Daring, a Des Moines, Stalingrad, Venzia, Ohio, and a Kremlin. How does it look over on the Ohboy side?
Well, like I was mentioning earlier, Ohboy bringing a Kremlin and a Slava, and then they've got 4 Des Moines. Now, on this particular map, Des Moines is incredibly strong, so it makes perfect sense that they would bring a whole bunch of Des Moines, and then they've got double Marceau and, of course, that Gearing. So they are still holding on to this idea of 2 Marceaus and a Destroyer. Their cruiser core is their cruiser core.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just curious about this pick of the Slava, though, because the Slava isn't necessarily that good in closer encounters, and North isn't exactly a gigantic map by any means.
It could be used. It could be used for the fight in the Des Moines.
It's going to definitely be used for Des Moines, anti-Des Moines work and anti-Stalingrad work in Venezia, sure. It's got very, very accurate guns, and remember that Deadeye has a huge impact on Slava's abilities as long as it stays outside of its standard concealment range, therefore allowing Deadeye to be active. So I see that, but at the same time, against a team that you just lost to Marceau spam, and you have to know we'll be bringing Marceau's again. I mean, the Slava, the balancing factor for the ship is that its armor scheme is rather weak sauce. So I'm just not sure. We'll have to see how it works, but that's a bit of a risk in my opinion when you're already down 1 game and you're about to be, possibly eliminated.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to see. It looks like Ohboy's moving their main force over to A side, and the Wolfpack is heading over to C. Looks like the Daring is going to get the cap uncontested.
Mm-hmm.
while the wolf pack is trying to sneak around.
It looks
Hopefully their Marceau is able to spot them in time.
looks to me like Ohboy is expecting the Marceau Wolfpack to be at Alpha simply because it's all open water and therefore more area to run. But obviously, we see here, with all seeing eyes, that Vor is going up the 10 line with their Marceaus. Dark Temple
Mhm.
radars catching Max to King's Des Moines north of Bravo Island. More importantly,
Yep.
it probably does not catch much in the way of destroyers, except maybe... Nope, he doesn't see the Marceau yet.
Yep, it looks like the wolf pack did spot the Des Moines and instantly turned around. They did not want to get within his radar range to get spotted. So as soon as they spotted, they instantly turned around and they're repositioning themselves because they don't want to give away their wolf pack location. So they're doing a very good job keeping themselves concealed.
Mm-hmm. Both teams now jockeying for position. As you can see, Asphodilus in the Des Moines under that gigantic boulder. That is a nice boulder. Just sitting there ready to pounce with his radar, and it's about to happen as Marceau reverses into B-cap.
Mm-hmm. Bryce, yep. Marsupillo is about to enter the cap, and as soon as he does that, Astidius is most likely going to activate his radar to try to figure out who's there. Looks like on A side, looks like Vor is pretty much giving them the cap and are in kiting positions to just counter whoever. But
Here
he,
it is.
yep, there is the radar on B, so he is currently spotting the Marsupolio. The Wolfpack is starting to shoot at him over the island, surprisingly. Very good trying to get shots out onto him. Oh, nope, never mind.
No,
They're
they're
putting the
shooting the
shots
Des Moines.
onto the Des Moines. Oh, oh.
Yep, the Des
They-
Moines is, I think, radared. He's very close. No, he's not. But he's being spotted anyway. Surface detection is a thing.
But look at the Kremlin. The Kremlin is also doing a heavy push.
Mm-hmm. That's why they turned
This-
around. Oh,
Oh,
he
and
just
this
takes
could-
it up the butt.
Oh no, and this could be a huge play for Vor because right now Ohboy's forces are all the way over at A. They're one of their fleet sections, about a third of their fleet
Oh
is
no,
over at
he
A.
beached. He beached.
Oh, this is gonna be it for this is it gonna be for Martin King. He's about to go down. He has
Where's
to
that
do his
Kremlin
best.
salvo? There it is.
The Kremlin salvo is going in, and he
Done.
is down. That beach was a huge misplay. That's definitely gonna bite them in the butt.
Yeah, well, and you can see just the level of focused fire from those Marceaus. That was a brilliant decision to not go for that lone Des Moines, but instead say, let's get the Kremlin. Let's get some backup to help us out. And then let's take him down. And that's exactly what they did.
Yep,
Meanwhile-
and the Marceaux are now repositioning.
Meanwhile, Slava shots out on Niebleski's Venezia, and they don't do anything. So, Slava, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep, and right now the old boys are trying to use the smoke gearing tactic right now. So the Vor does now know that there are two Des Moines in that smoke. They now realize this. So they're going to have to figure out what to do with that. They have their daring moving over, probably going to try to torp them out. The gearing is going to move forward, try to do some spotting for them while they start trying to hammer that Ohio and
Yeah.
Fenzia.
The thing is, the Death Snail is a long-term kind of a thing, right? Like,
Yep.
you just keep chipping your opponent down and down and down. But in the meantime, the rest of the map is falling. I mean, look, there goes the Marceau Conga line train going into B. Choo-choo. I
And the
mean,
thing is, they may be heading over to those two Des Moines and Gearing. They may smell blood in the water with that pair. Because if they catch those two Des Moines out in the open, that will hurt.
oh yeah, they'll just, and that's the thing. that smoke ends in about a minute or less at this point. So as soon as that happens, the Marceaus just go happy town on him. Interestingly enough, they didn't go after the Slava. I thought it would have been hilarious to see those three just go and bully the Slava to death.
The thing is, at this point, they may just be trying to keep cap control, maybe not wasting time going out there. Because, like, yes, the kill on this level would be good, but they would be giving up partial map control. Because as of right now, the Kremlin is being hammered by a Marceau, a Des Moines, and the Kremlin. And while the other Marceau is also moving in to help, so they're probably trying to provide support for that Kremlin. Because the Slava does have a shout out onto the Kremlin and does about 10k, so very good shot for him.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's a Kremlin, dude. So I mean, he's not going to go down for another minute and a half. You know?
Yep, he's just going to keep on tanking.
That's right.
Because if you see, it looks like the Marceaus are trying to sneak around. They may be trying to go after that lone Des Moines.
That's what I think they're going to do. I think they're going to go after Lord Damon, because once they kill him, they can go after Eternal Titan's Kremlin if they want. But Yanaya is going to be fine for a little while longer. And if he keeps backing up, you're right, Pod Nike can get that shot on him over the island. And I'm sure he's waiting for it.
Yeah, they definitely know that he's there.
Here's
They definitely...
20k on the Yanaya. Burning once more.
Uh-oh, here it comes.
Yep, we're following
and it's AP! The AP!
Boom! Not enough to get a kill, though.
The AP's coming on the broadside. Oh, and he's being hammered.
There
the
he
Marceau.
goes.
Yep, the Kremlin is down, so the Marceau's going to try to come over and help out their Des Moines brethren.
Oh, look at Damon.
Too late.
Look at Damon just being taken down. He pushed too hard, and he's gone.
He is gone, but he may be able to get a kill before it's done. He is trying so hard to get a kill. He is weakening their Marceau pack. He may get a kill on Rua before it's done. He's at 200 and no, he almost killed two. If he would have been able to shoot the one, he would have been able to kill the one. But the thing is, he had to turn. If he didn't turn, he was going to get killed faster. So he was probably just trying to weaken the wolf pack so that his two other Marceaus that are able to can also go and kill them.
His problem, though, was he pushed. He didn't expect the Marceaus, so he ran into them after coming out from the island, and it was just right there in his face. Had he radared before coming around that island, he might have caught that early and been set up for it.
Yep.
Oh, well.
Yep. It is what it is. But right now, looks like cap control is firmly in the grasp of over on A by Ohboy, while Vor has firm control over B and C. So they have to make a play soon. If they don't, this is going to be a quick game over because there's only 2 minutes and 40 seconds left, with 780 points. It's not looking too good.
I don't like this decision by Ohboy to back off their Des Moines. Their Des Moines have to push. That's their strength right now. And they got to set up another Doomsdale. They got to farm out this Ohio or kill the Daring, one or the other. But turning away like this is just basically saying, GG. And they're waving the white flag. I just don't like seeing it.
It's really weird because the fact is that the Daring still has its smoke. He didn't waste it all.
That's what I mean.
So he could have easily done another Death Snail.
That's what I mean. Exactly right. Marceau in B gets detected.
Yep.
So, I mean, he's going to take some fire. He'll get reset. Regardless, it stops the cap point gain for Vor for just a little bit, which might be important. As a matter of fact, look at him. He's not willing to leave the cap. He knows how crucial this cap is, and he's instead just happy to play back and forth games to try to at least stop that point gain and not bleed a lot of health in the process.
Yep, he is still spotted by the radar.
Oh, it's Des Moines radar. It's up for
the Marceaus. And the Marceaus are now leading the corner, so they're probably gonna start. Yep, they're gonna start opening up fire on him. They're trying to push him out of that cap to get the cap control back into their grasp. But yeah, at this point, with those two Des Moines so far back, they are bringing the other one in. with it so far back, it may take too long for them to reposition in time because Horny Wookie is being fired at by the Ohio.
Yeah. Now the interesting thing is that that radar is now over, and the Marceau's able to back into the cap. Of course, he doesn't realize that there are torpedoes coming his way. So he's about to back into one. This might be catastrophic.
Yep,
Oh,
he
right in the
backed
butt.
right into it.
And now the Marceau's,
that...
no, he's extremely low.
Yep.
Classic now, not going to allow the same thing to happen. He pulls the brakes and he's waiting, and those torps fly right by.
Yep, this was definitely that twerp is definitely going to affect them.
Oh, Best
and
Naomi.
That's a Stalingrad. Yep.
Best Naomi is very low.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's only 40 seconds left in the match. This is not looking good at all.
No. No, this game has belonged to Vor just like the last one. We see the effectiveness of that French destroyer spam. So whoever faces Vor in the finals, they have to be prepared for either Kleber, Marceau, or both.
Yep, they have to be. They did a very good job keeping map control this whole match.
Mm-hmm.
Very well done by both teams.
Look at this.
Feel like
Ohboy gets on both caps, no point gain. Just delaying the end, but Temple going down maybe?
Yeah, it's either Temple may go down by those torps if he does eat those torps. Let's see here. He's overturning. Going to eat. He ate 1, 2, 3, and 3.
Not enough.
He's not going down. Definitely weak. The timer is now starting again with the cap going down. They're trying so hard to stop the cap points, but at this point, it's a little bit too late. They have to get a kill.
Yep. And we're going to scope in and see if Pink Camouflage here dies or if it's the Marceau in B. Marceau's lower, but I have a strong feeling this is going to do it right here. 20 seconds to go, but it's going to be over quicker than that, folks.
Yeah, Pink Camouflage is about to go down. Yura Russia dodges the shot that was going to kill him. Very well done, dodge. So the second match goes to Vor. Very well done. So the winner of the semifinal internationals is Vor.
That's right. So the first group to move on is going to be Vor, and they will be facing whoever wins the next set that we are going to be casting for you guys soon.tm at 2:30. So we have about 27 minutes.
Yep. So they have 27 minutes to prepare. So the opponents are going to be, let me check who it is. It is going to be Bonks versus FPM.
Right. Bonks versus FPM coming up next, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep. But wow, what a match. What a display from Vor. Very well done. Very good map control. Well done overall.
Yeah. Yeah, they did fantastic. So we're gonna see the we'll see what happens with the resulting thing. Stay in that training room if you don't mind, and just keep an eye on things in case they do decide to start up. Okay.
Oh yeah, they're not gonna change the training room, right?
Yeah, it's the same training room the whole time.
Ooh, that's interesting. But yeah, wow. What a display.
Yeah, that was something, I'll tell you. Waiting for the replay bot to come up.
Yep, we're just waiting for it. They have to put in the replay.
Yep. In the meantime, I am going to go ahead and load up on my main account because why not?
Mm-hmm.
It'd be nice if there was a unified structure so we didn't have to keep swapping back and forth.
Yeah, but it is what it is. It's okay.
Mm-hmm. Alright. right. Ohboy sent in their replay. Vor sent in theirs. We should be seeing that replay momentarily, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep. And then it's going to be Ohboy versus FPM. Oh, sorry, Bonks versus FPM.
Yes, Bonks versus FPM, correct. And then Ohboy will face whoever loses this next match, and of course, Vor will face whoever wins the next match. Alright, let's see if I have enough time to get a... I should have enough time. Alright, game has been posted. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up that battle. Let's see, what's this one? Alright, I'm gonna head to the restroom for just a moment. I'll be right back. Okay. All right.
I forgot. I always forget. Okay, but yeah, I definitely believe that as we were watching the replay and we've seen the death snail, that death snail had to be. I think that is what lost it for Ohboy, because the gearing has a better concealment than the daring, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Legendary, I think it does. I can't remember. Not legendary.
Okay. So it has a better conceal than the daring, which means that if they're being pushed back, that would mean that either it's not a legendary, and that it would have worse concealment. That's the only reason why. But the thing is, the daring never opened up fire onto the gearing, and none of the battleships ever shot the gearing.
Right.
Which means that it wasn't spotted, right? So that would mean that they pushed back. I think the daring did a very good job as I'm watching the little replay. It did a very good job keeping the pressure on the Des Moines.
Yep.
So that they had to be pushed back. If they would have had two dailies there keeping up the smoke, then yes. Or maybe the Slava would have been more further up. That also could have been a push to make it where the battleship would have turned back. Because that battleship turned back at them, expecting the Des Moines to get spotted. So they're like, oh shit, we gotta get out of here. And that's pretty much what happened. So that Slava being that far back for that long definitely played a factor into those Des Moines being pulled back.
Yep. Which
in the end lost them a lot of time repositioning. The Des Moines took about 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes to reposition.
I don't feel like they got much out of the Slava that game at all, really.
I don't think they did at all. Like the Slava, I felt like the Slava was really just not in a good position. Like if we go in, like if I go forward the timer, so about halfway through the match, the Slava is still back at the C3 and 4 as the Des Moines move up, and we move to the little replay 4 more. The Slava was moved up to D3. It was at D3, halfway in the match, shooting over at the F678, shooting those guys over there. And then when the Des Moines were called back, it was still at D3.
Yep.
And then it started going back when the Des Moines. It still stayed back. When the Des Moines were at G3, the Des Moines was that ship was still at D3, not able to put a lot of pressure onto the cruiser, the Fenzia, and the Ohio that was back there.
Nope. And that's the thing. Like, I felt like they weren't able to utilize that death snail properly. Like, they needed to keep moving it forward. And they had to get those Des Moines guns to bear because they just weren't for so long.
Two Des Moines should have easily been able to melt the Ohio, at least, with how close they were to it, along with the Fenzia over time. But I feel like the Daring, that Daring did an amazing job with keeping unspotted while keeping the Des Moines spotted, which means that the gearing that did the smoke most likely was not doing its job of countering the other DD, which is what it's supposed to do.
Absolutely.
It's supposed to keep the other DD outside the spotting range of the Des Moines so that the Des Moines can be safe when the smoke isn't up. That's why DD players are one of the most important playing factors in these tourneys. In gameplay, DDs, if there's no CDs, are pretty much the most important role because they're doing multiple roles. They're doing spotting, they're doing defense, they're also negating the other DD from doing damage, from pushing in or spotting. The role of the DD is super strong, and the fact that the Daring was able to get that close to the ones to keep them spotted was the downfall of that little snail.
Yeah.
Which in the end caused the match to go in the favor of 4.
Right.
I believe. Because while that was going on, C and B were in the firm control of the Wolfpack. So the only real move they had was A. So when they gave up A and started going around, that was a pretty clear sign that the match was almost done at that point. Because that just would take too long.
No, you're absolutely right. So, unfortunately, it's just a case where, hey, they got outplayed. So, let's talk a little bit about this comp then. I mean, I dislike the idea of just complaining about a comp that people take. I mean, it's a legitimate comp and a legitimate strat. Otherwise, it wouldn't be allowed. So, let's talk about how can you counter this. What should whoever's going to face VOR be thinking about right now? If you are the tactician for the team, and you've been told to devise a strategy against the Marceaus or Klebers, what do you do?
Exactly. Like, if you're trying to do a plan, so, like, if I was to do a strategy against Marceaus, if I knew they're bringing Marceaus. Okay, so, if I knew that there was if they just did a match previously of Marceaus, I would either bring in my own Marceaus to counter them, to have some kind of fighting back.
So fight fire with fire, that's one way to do it.
Yep. Or I would have, since this map is strong with Des Moines, I would have the Des Moines, of course, spread out across the cover, and you would have them in defensive positions so that they're not able to flank. That's definitely sure. So I would have a Des Moines definitely around the D9 or 10 area, keeping tabs there or keeping a cutting position just in case.
Yep.
Or have it by the island, of course, so it doesn't get blocked by a battleship, because you probably need to keep it by the island at around D9, like the one right by the cap, just for in case of that. Also have that ship particularly with RPF, so it can detect if anything decides to go over there. Probably have a lower detection DD that can spot the Marceaus early along with that side.
Okay.
Or have the Marceau rush into the cap early, or have the have a low detection DD being able to spot. Kind of like have it deny the cap early, so have it around D8, a little bit north, like a little bit north, because you saw they were to grab the cap really early. So if you have a DD that goes in and kind of spots them early, it gives it a chance of the cruisers to get a hit for sure. In this map, it's very hard for battleships to get that good depth strike across the map, for sure. So you probably want more battleships that are better at close range and or can melt or do big damage to these. So you want a Conqueror. I would have taken a Conqueror.
Ah, okay. See, now this is the part I should have corrected myself earlier, man. Like, talking about positioning is all fine and good, but to me, I think it needs to come down to the fundamental. What ships are we going to take to fight the Clip Air spam?
My
You know what I mean? No, it's okay. I didn't specify, and that's on me, right? But you mentioned the Conqueror. Why the Conqueror for a battleship against the French destroyers?
So one, the Conqueror is very good against HE spam. Has the best super heal in the game. So it just eats fires like crazy, and it can heal through it like nothing.
Mm-hmm.
The ability of the Conqueror to be able to out-heal the HE spam is tremendous. And its only real threat would be the enemy battleship that would Citadel it. Because if it's just eating HE damage, it can heal... What's the percentage of the heal? It can eat a lot.
Yeah. So, it's interesting you mentioned this because, personally, I was thinking there's other ships... What the hell just happened? One of our transport ships rammed... I'm doing Operation Aegis. One of our transport ships rammed the lone enemy Aoba that was still alive. Like, nobody killed it. That's hilarious. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, my bad. I didn't know what you meant by either the... just saying what positioning and stuff. My bad.
No worries.
Both teams did the best they could.
Yep.
And I'm not...
So, okay.
They did a good job.
Let's talk battleship picks. Conqueror is a good battleship pick. I also think Republic might be a good pick because it's got really good accuracy. Its guns are like rail guns, and it's
very
pretty quick.
maneuverable.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, Burgonia could be a good pick too, right?
Yeah.
Because it's got the reload booster, it's got quicker reloading guns, and more barrels.
Yes. The Burgonia's also a good pick as well. Very maneuverable, has the reload booster as well.
So those are some possibilities. The other thing I was thinking of is you could even run a non-battleship comp and free up space for additional cruisers or additional Marceaus. Think about that for a second. What do you think?
You could, but the thing is that if the other team knows there's no battleships, there is no fear of the other battleship citadeling or targeting their battleship. So if there is no battleship fear, they're most likely just going to steamroll. They're going to use their radars to spot the Ds as they're moving up, and it's just going to be a steamroll push, where they're going to use the radars to help spot the sonar cruisers to make it where the battleships can just push a line. And if they're able to do that, then it would be an easy push anyway. Because the battleships are a fear factor. It keeps the other ships in line where, say, there's a Des Moines Italian by an island. It doesn't know where the battleship is. It's going to stay by that. But if there is no battleship fear, and they already know what cruiser on the other side, like during the match, they're going to know, okay, well, this can't really hurt me that much. I can move up to here and not get punished for it, as in, say, a Yamato could do a snipe in depth striking.
Sure. The reason I'm bringing that up, though, is because against a Clip Bear or Marceau, we haven't really felt like the battleships are that important. I mean, sure that they've got the broadside threat and all that kind of stuff, right? But what I'm getting at is, you know, they almost don't even need to exist in theory, right? Because you just saw what happened when the Marceaus decide that they want to open up and kill something, right?
Yes.
So there's fighting fire with fire, and then there's trying to big brain outthink the enemy and build a comp that is solely directed towards killing their destroyers. And that's it. Forget everything else. Kill those Marceaus. Once they've been killed, then that's it, right?
Yep, exactly.
So we'll have to see what they what they ultimately end up doing, as my
Yeah,
autopilot is messing with
we do have 11 minutes left.
it. Yep.
We're doing pretty good right now.
Yeah, we're doing just fine.
Yep, and the teams are starting to pile in slowly over time, so doing
Okey-dokey.
very good with that. We're able to. Oh, you're doing your team still. My bad.
That's okay. Yeah, I'm doing Operation Aegis.
That's always a good one.
It is, and I'm taking a low and hard out because, you know, AP rockets are fun. Unfortunately, I've got a teammate that's kind of bumped up right next to me, and I think that's totally screwing up my ship's autopilot. So it's like, yeah, whatever.
That would definitely mess up the autopilot.
Yeah, he keeps on moving to the same positioning that I'm moving to, so this ship won't be alive for much longer, but the game will probably end pretty soon, as we've got one Liberty ship that is currently heading towards the end location. So those of you guys that join in for King of the Sea action, just keep waiting. It's coming. It's coming. We got 9 minutes. For those of you that are listening, you have 14 minutes because there's a 5-minute delay.
Oh. Yeah, that was incredible to watch. Thor did an incredible job with that. Marceaus. Those Marceaus were well done. Very well played.
Oh, absolutely, yes. Abso-freaking-lutely, yes. And operation completed. Oh, and I died. Oh, lol. And we only got 3 stars. Hey, whatever. It's a win. I am okay with that. Ta-da! Came in first place.
Yeah, very well done. I'm very, very... That was very fun to watch. I really enjoyed it. Amazing.
Yep.
But yeah, whenever you're in the training room and stuff, then we can just go and talk about whatever it's called.
Yep, I am relaunching the client right now.
Sweet. But no, that was amazing again. Very well done. I'm definitely excited to see how Bonks fights FPM. They definitely went back and watched the match with 07 versus FPM. So they're definitely going to see how they played against 07 and how 07 played against them. And they're probably going to look up previous matches as well. So they're definitely going to try figuring out strategies that they're going to most likely pull.
Right. Well, and you talked about this before, about the importance of getting some intel, right, on what the opponent is going to do.
Yep, intel is the most important thing you can do.
So if teams are unwilling to get that intel, well, that's on them, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Because the information is out there. We are streaming it. It is on the videos.
Well, and that's part of why we stream so much, right? Is because we want people to see these games. We want them to know who they're up against. This isn't meant to be, you know, going in completely blind, right? This is meant to be, you know, prepare, practice,
Yes.
get ready, and hopefully dominate.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. I'm just setting up my stuff. So we've got our bands. Do you want to talk through the bands for a sec?
Yep. So for the bands, we have... Let's switch over real quick.
2 destroyers. Very interesting.
Oh. It's Bonks versus FPM.
Yep.
For some reason it didn't update. There we go. There you go. So Bonks banned the Kleber.
And
And
FPM.
FPM banned the gearing.
Yeah, very
This
interesting.
is this is the first time we have seen two DDs banned,
hmm I've seen
which
it
is
a couple of times before, but it's pretty rare to see two. Absolutely.
yes. hmm So the Kleber ban was definitely a targeted ban by Bonks, and I also believe that the gearing ban was also targeted with the smoke strat that they seen
hmm
by Bonks. So I feel like it was a targeted ban, but like you said, there's multiple ships with multiple roles. The Marceau can take the place of the Colbert, and the Haragumo can take the base of a Gearing
Yes,
with its
yes.
smoke, of course.
With the
Yes.
legendary smoke,
Yep.
absolutely yes.
Yep.
Um, but I don't even know if you. Okay, so Haragumo is actually might be a good. If you're picking
His
a
concealment's a
destroyer,
little bit worse.
if you're picking a destroyer to fight the Marceau, I would put my money on Daring. It's got the heal, it's got pretty good DPM, and it's got the smoke to cover itself, and it's got the hydro to detect the torpedoes from French destroyers, because those are pretty long-range torpedoes, relatively speaking, for destroyers. They
Yep.
hit like a truck, and they're pretty fast.
Yep.
So, to me, that's what I would expect to see.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know that I would. What I'm getting at is I don't know that I would put my bait behind Haragumo Death Snail kind of a deal. As a matter of fact, with Boggs yesterday, we saw Game 3. They showed up with 3 Venezias, expecting the French destroyer spam, which did not happen.
Mm-hmm.
So,
It's all gonna be on who can out mental think the other.
yes. Yep. It's going to come down to that, as always. And we've always talked about destroyers winning games, and you're absolutely right. Like, you have to take out those destroyers. So, God, imagine an all Venezia comp. How ridiculous could that be?
Oh, just in on the newest dev blog, by the way, they
Hmm.
just announced that they're removing team damage.
What?
Yep.
Where is this? Send me the link.
They literally, I think it's live.
Oh, they're doing that again. Okay.
Yes, because my clan Discord is talking about it.
Yeah, I see that too. No more team damage in 10.5. So, interestingly enough, right, World of Warships Legends, the console version of this game, never had team damage. Ever. It was not a
Mhm.
thing. You could not go pink at all. You couldn't team kill. The other major difference that Legends had compared to PC is that they started with their torpedoes and all armaments loaded up right off the bat. So you could play a Shimakaze with 3 racks of torps and fire them off immediately.
Yep.
So that's a thing. But the lack of team damage, it makes sense, and to be quite honest, it's about freaking time. Because we don't have team damage in operations. In co-op, we get team damage all the time. If I go pink, chances are it happened in co-op because I fired torpedoes at somebody and, a bot or a human just jumped right in front. It happens more often than I'd like to admit, quite frankly.
Yep.
So it's interesting that they are releasing dev blog information on a King of the Sea stream when they already have a very strong audience. But hey, that's their choice. They've got almost 11,000 people watching them right now.
Yep. So if they want to release dev blog information, that is totally on them.
Hey, I mean, this is their game, right? So here we go, Northern Waters.
It
Sorry.
is their game.
And it looks...
The first map is Northern Waters,
Mhm.
with the Alpha spawn going to Bonks. Second map is north with Bravo spawn going to Bonks. Third map is Crash Zone Alpha with Alpha spawn going to Bonks.
That is correct. And they're asking if both teams are ready to go. And
Yep.
now we're being told to hold for 2 minutes. Hurry up and wait.
Yep, we're currently waiting probably for them to be done with the devlog. So that is definitely interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That is definitely interesting indeed.
One of my viewers is responding saying, "That's a massive Yoshino buff." I mean, that's perfect timing for for Kitakami, right?
This could be a predecessor to that ship coming in the game.
Right? Exactly.
It could be. Oh no! We
Yeah.
thought the wall of torps was the wall of skill was bad. A div
Right?
of Kitakami's.
Right? Our torps will block out the sun.
Uh.
Yeah, there we go.
In the end, I think team damage is getting removed because of the fact that they had to remove team damage from roll of tanks because it got to a toxic point.
Oh, they did
So
that.
when
Okay.
they-
When did they do that?
I don't remember. For the last time I played, I couldn't shoot a teammate. As far as I remember.
Hmm.
I guess there's a new tier 10 ballin looking ship. It's literally has the same thing on the front. It's like it has more anti-airs. It's like a Smallin 2.0.
Oh, cool, because the first one clearly wasn't bad enough.
Yeah, it's called Ragnar. Nice. And we're getting the game, dude. So let's get it going. Bonks versus FPM.
All right, let's do this.